So the Westminster Study Bible is a brand new study Bible that is keyed to the New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition, which came out in fall of 2023. And the WSB is the first from scratch study Bible keyed to this brand new and important update to one of the great translations in the English language of the Christian Bible. Well, one thing that's unique about the WSB is that it is from scratch. So there are already a study Bible or two on the market keyed to the NRSV updated edition, but this one is brand new with a very large and diverse contributor pool. And so that's one notable thing. From scratch and the size of the contributor pool, all these things were commissioned fresh and anew for the WSB. There's a number of other aspects of the Westminster Study Bible that are unique, though, and that set it apart. I would say one of the key things that came to mind early on in the editorial board was to think about this Bible's use in the classroom, and that it would be designed by teachers and for teachers, and particularly for use in classroom context. So that's one of the great things about the WSB is its clear-eyed focus on the classroom and pedagogical use. Well, there's three major features that the board talked a lot about in terms of design and then implementation. First and foremost, as one expects, is the study notes themselves. These notes are fresh for each of the books of the Bible and are also prefaced by an introduction to that particular book of the Bible, which in my mind is quite helpfully framed in part as a reader guide or a reading guide to the particular book. That's kind of nice. What to look for in this book, what to expect, what you will find. And that's exceedingly helpful for novices, new people to reading these materials, whether they're in a classroom or even seasoned readers who may not have encountered the book as a whole. So the study notes is a crucial piece. The second piece is the approximately 200 excursuses that are peppered throughout the Bible. And these are of different sorts. We have 4 different types of excursuses that offer different aspects, further probes of various sorts about the biblical material. And this is a really nice benefit. And again, something that I think is rather unique in the study Bible market. Finally, the board was keen to develop a list of thematic essays gathered together at the end of the Bible that cover a lot of very important topics that should be present but don't really find their way into study notes or an introduction to a biblical book or to these excursuses, which are fairly short. These thematic essays cover important background information as well as interesting aspects of the Bible's later reception and interpretation. Things like the Bible in art or the Bible in science and the environment and things like that. So these 3 aspects are just several of the many important elements or features of the WSB, but in my mind are really crucial in the editorial design. I think the WSB would be a great study Bible choice for all classrooms. In the undergrad curriculum, it would be easy to imagine that the WSB is the primary, if not only textbook, assigned for that class. That it is meant to be in many ways a one-stop shop with the excursuses, these call-out boxes, these treatments, with the thematic essays providing important background information, and with the study notes themselves and introductions. This is really a kind of a clearinghouse for an undergrad course on the Bible. With the graduate course, it would be no doubt supplemented by other such things like other textbooks or additional readings of various sorts. But again, here too, the WSB in its attempt to be comprehensive and with its attempt to be thoughtful in its range of attention to interpretation back then and now, it can function as a primary textbook or the primary textbook in even graduate level courses on the Bible. Well, I think that what excites me about the WSB is, in fact, this, several things. I don't know if I could just pick one, but I'm very excited about the pedagogical purpose behind the WSB. I think that doesn't mean that it's only for teachers or only for students, or rather, I would say we're all students when it comes to Scripture. And so whether we're reading individually, on our own, maybe for devotional purposes even, or in a classroom as part of a formal class, the WSB's attention to pedagogy, to teaching, making things accessible and understandable is really a key aspect that I find exciting about the WSB. I think another thing I would mention is that a lot of thought has gone into this study Bible in terms of not leaving the study notes or the Bible itself just solely back then in an ancient cultural context, but also to think about the Bible now, its contemporary cultural context, as it were. So some of the language we've used is this Bible is about back then and also since then, or back then and all the way to right about now. And so the attention that's been given to thinking about the ancient context, especially in the notes, the study notes, the cultural notes is what we've sometimes called those, coupled with the way the excursuses and thematic essays take this material all the way up to the present day, really does model the way the Bible remains a lively text and how we approach the Bible with real questions. Some of our readerly modern questions are on point and apropos, some less so. And we learn that in part by the cultural context of the Bible, which is a different one than your own. And yet, even when it's in its sort of most ancient, historicized, and contextualized form, the Bible remains a lively word to millions and millions of people alive today, not to mention over millennia. And so to think about the Bible's current meaning as well, and how that complex interface happens between the ancient text and the modern reader. I think that readers will find this Bible freshly and excitingly interdisciplinary. That this isn't just a study Bible about ancient history, or just a study Bible about literary forms, or just a study Bible about religious themes or theological topics. All of that, yes, and more, including attention to much later politics and art and media and science and the environment and all sorts of things. And so that interdisciplinarity is a tricky thing to pull off and to pull off well. But the WSB has had it in mind to try to bridge multiple disciplines and to show, again, the contemporary liveliness of Scripture. And that's in part done by showing its interface with all sorts of disciplines beyond just history, beyond just literature. I want to stress that the Bible is also, this Bible, but the Bible generally is also meant for outside the classroom. And again, we might say that all of us are learners, all of us in a sense live in the classroom of life, so be it, and all that is well and good. But I also think the Bible, this Bible, the Westminster Study Bible, should find a ready readership among those who are faithful churchgoers, who want to learn more about Scripture, and again, think about the way the Scripture from so long ago remains lively and impactful even now. And I think the WSB can help them in that regard.